Alright folks, welcome back to Let's Play Zork Nemesis. I'm the Mysterious JG, and Zork Nemesis seems to be acting up. Yeah, Zork Nemesis is really acting up. Alright, seems to have gotten over whatever its problem was. We're going to save on a different slot, because I just confirmed that last video took. And we're going to continue our quest. Check at the time, so I'll know when to cut the video. We're going to continue our quest to unearth the secrets of Castle Irondune. So there's another bedroom. So I can only assume this is Lucius's bedroom, because I don't think anyone else, any other named characters live here. So we head for his bed. This is, a draft note. This is for Lucius Kaine by the power vested in the authority of Sir General of the Royal Army. You are hereby drafted in the rank of military forces of the Desert River. So it's a draft notice for his own son. I always assume there's something going on with mirrors in these games, but in fact I couldn't quite figure out anything special going on here. There's some gunpowder hidden away. Let's quit, turn off pan relief. This might be a mistake. And pick this up, because it looked like there was something up at the edge of the screen that I couldn't see, or couldn't examine. So it's going to be a pain in the butt to get over there, but real pain in the butt. Almost had it. Here we go. Lucian, I've decided that you will be joining me on the hunt next week. I think you will come to appreciate the art of the sport. We don't have much time to prepare. You don't seem to have any kind of knife of your own, so I thought you might make something of my old broken one. There's no scabbard for it. Any empty one will do, Kaine. That, I guess, is vaguely a clue that you're supposed to use the scabbard that you find in that suit of armor with the sword. But, I don't know, it's not much of a clue. So, I got scan relief back on so I don't go insane in the membrane. And we'll just hop right back in now that we've read that all-important thing. Picked up the gunpowder. Oh, you know what? We can't get out of this screen with that on, so shouldn't have turned it on again quite so soon. It's one of those screens where you have to move the cursor all the way to the right or left side to escape. So now we can save and eventually actually get back to the game instead of messing with pan relief. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about pan relief. I mean, it's free. It'd be nice if it worked a little bit better in certain ways, but the fact that I have to quit out of Zork Nemesis before I can start it up and turn it off is not at all the fault of the guy who made pan relief. This is just one of the quirks of the program of Zork Nemesis. It's not meant to run in, modern Windows. It's not meant to be all tabbed in and out of. Hundreds dead in Thaddeum explosion. Free press corps. In a blast of heat and fury, Thaddeus Research Facility No. 2 disappeared this morning, taking much of the idyllic village of Stonehead with it. Company officials continue to deny any connection between the company and the blast, saying, "As you know, it's been several centuries since we sacrificed a virgin of the fire gods. We were due for this one." Critics, on the other hand, point to the smoking remnants of Facility Number 1 and the strange mineral thadium, which eyewitnesses claim to have seen smuggled in under the cover of night. Lucian, I love you. Have I written you that today? I'm distracted and playing quite horribly. I have been having nightmares again, the same ones. My father's performing some Zoroastrian fire ritual, and the flames leap up higher and higher until they devour him. He screams in pain, but I cannot move. Then the sky grows dark, and I cannot see the sun. I don't know what it means. I know I worry as his illness worsens. Come tonight. I am afraid. Oh. And we've got the opera ticket, or the ticket for her performance. He went to see her. Blah, blah, blah. I guess we can't read this because it flips over. Understand your relationship with your father. If you don't believe in Kaine's wars, if you won't fight his battles, just tell him. Don't sabotage his campaign against Elrond, and don't steal from him. He is a good man who has raised a good son. You must know he loves you, as I do, your devoted Alexandria. You don't get it. He's not a nice guy. Lucian, you are right. Something is going on. We must leave. I wrote Father telling him everything and asking him to marry us. Father will miss me, but he'll understand. We will escape to the Westlands. I'm not frightened. Lucian, I know everything will be all right if I am with you. Does that sound childish? I've never felt more a woman, and I am, as always, your Alexandria. She's more than a woman to you. Oh, she takes care of herself. Lucian, I love you. Have I written you that today? Okay, I already saw this one. So, yeah, they got typical teenage melodrama bullshit going on. I wish I was never born. My dad's such a jerk. I'll never be as good as he is as Blitzball. Huh? Interesting. Whoa. It was a Dave Letterman top 10 list. Top 10 reasons you know that Grooves are about to kill you. Reason number 1. You went into a dark place and it's a Zork game. Okay, it's actually a top 12 list. And build bridge, ambush, dig trenches, verify methods, drop thadium, infiltrate and destroy. Split the troops. Is it just me, or does that sound like split the troops? Distraction. These sound like things from I suggest we dig trenches. These sound like things that would have popped up in the instructions on how to break the siege. So I'm not going to write these down. They are already noted for me in the walkthrough, but I'm afraid. Okay, good. I managed to avoid taking that. I think for the rest of the game, I will continue forever to have this poster of Alexandria's concert in my inventory. This record of her performance in my inventory. Oh, it's another little scene. Oh, saucy. Alexandria's a beautiful soul, and she's got nice breasts.
Is this your imagination or your memory?
Memory enhanced by imagination.
The Archbishop will take a very dim view of your bedding his daughter.
I want to marry her.
Go ahead, amuse yourself if you must. For God's sakes. Be discreet.
What do you know about that?
Remember this. She will never have your name.
Well, yeah, it'd be weird if her name was Lucius. It'd be kind of masturbatory in a way, you know what I mean? Anyway, thanks for dropping by, Dad. Thanks for supporting my art. Thanks for supporting live comedy. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Thaddeus and Lucius get along that well. Oh, I didn't mean to. I didn't realize that I was going to be... Oh, it's a picture of his sweetie. And a picture of him and his sweetie and a violin. Yeah, Lucius pretty much got one thing on his mind. Boys that age, you know. Get the hots for some chick and turns into some kind of huge flippin', you know, world-shattering thing. Everyone is against our love. Alright. So, this is actually the game room. Home to Game Master Kevin Sullivan. And, you can play foosball. But not really, because you spin these things, but you refuse to move the ball or move them up and down, so you can't actually do anything with that. Now, the actual one that you need to look at, the reason the room is here, is this one. Doesn't make much sense, but if you read the instructions, it says first button, candles and broomsticks. Second button, shaving a cat. Third button, fishing in the desert. Fourth button, triple splitter. Fifth button, shoot. So we can press 5. Nothing happens. Press 1 or 3 and then 2. Only one of these will stay lit at a time, so let's press 1 and then shoot. So it's a special automated pool table. We sink all of the balls in vaguely interesting ways. Now, what's the point of this? Well, you can look down here and the balls get pocketed in a certain sequence. Q did not appear to be the first ball to go down. I'm not sure how that happened. Keep an eye on the Q here. See whether other balls go down before it does. Looks like all but one of them went down before it did. And yet it continues to be the first. Or maybe it's a reverse order, but it wasn't the last one to go down either. So what I'm getting at is, nitpicky as it is, I'm saying that these things are not going down in the order that it shows. Alright, so that's a different combination from before. Here's the deal. We now, if you're paying attention, you're checking that thing every time and you're writing them down. You now have a combination of numbers that is associated with candles and broomsticks, shaving a cat, fishing in the desert, and triple splitter. And you make a note of that and you move along with your adventure. So now we'll head back down here into the downstairs area. We know already that just from messing with the suits of armors that a new door opened. And although we could go searching around for it, I'll cut to the chase. The door opened over here. And it appears to have led us to a dungeon of some sort. Dungeon of Dune, brother. There is a cell over here. It is an imperfect cell. Somebody has drawn pictures of the alchemists. Somebody has drawn Port Thumper, Frigid River. A map of some kind. Don't think there's anything essential in here. So now we come into the torture chamber.
No, 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 no! No. Don't leave me here to rot. Code number 1 is build the bridge.
Okay, thank you, John Leguizamo, as a transformer. Code number 1 is build a bridge. Yes, that matches with what was written on Lucien's easel. So this appears to be another place where we can get information on, I guess, those codes. Hold on a second, folks. Sorry about that. Okay. Click on this thing.
I would never double-cross the General. I didn't steal nothing.
Are there thumb screws or something we can use on you?
I would never double-cross the General. I didn't steal nothing.
Oh, he was torturing his own men. That's nice.
Stop! I'll tell you. Code 10. Decoy the enemy.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why this game was looked down on by some Zork fans as being too grisly and kind of dark. I don't even know exactly what this one does.
Radio code 12. Verify. Code 12. Verify.
Thanks. Oh man, I don't even want to. I don't know what this one is. That's just a rack.
Infiltrate!
What is that blade down there for cutting off? Okay, now if I'm remembering the solution correctly that we're getting all these clues for, you don't use 3 as retreat, so some of these are red herrings, but they're giving you information on things that you're going to need to put together a code later. Oh, blood. Yuck.
Code 9! Split the troop!
Didn't even tell us what Code 9 is. Code 9 is actually split the troops, but I know that from Lucien's painting, not from this creepy little area. Oh, jeez. This one doesn't even give you a clue. It's just nasty. I don't really want anything more to do with this. I don't really particularly approve of Kaine. I mean, he's a general. There's a war going on. I suppose he has his reasons, but man, this... Can you do anything with any of those drains that we were seeing on the floor? Doesn't look like it. No, I don't know that I like this guy that much. He seems like kind of a bad apple. It doesn't look like we can interact with this table, so let's just... All it's going to be is more horrible screams. So let's get out of here. I like the fact that one of them is just literally... like no useful information at all. Just a guy getting tortured. Alright, well... We've got gunpowder now, so let's put that in here. And try firing the doggy cannon. Excellent. That's my second favorite doggy after the Trihund from Human Centipede. Now, sorry. We have a new room that we can enter. A fun room. A room that will be rather frustrating, because if we want to see all the content in this room, I'm going to have to shut off pan relief, because it's going to prevent us from backing out once we go into some of these close-ups. And it will prevent us from interacting with everything. So let's just shut it off and keep going with this video. We're actually getting perilously close to the end, so I'm wondering if I should just make this a long video and finish. This one didn't really take quite as long if you know what you're doing. The Yipple Rebellion. Well, watching these will kill some time, actually.
Dundor of Briminax, in 466, led one of the great and early battles of the Empire. At Galapath, Dundor bravely crushed the rebellion of Yipples, much larger and more powerful than those described in the Sorcerer packages. He employed a unique strategy.
Apparently they were described in the Sorcerer Infocom game Sorcerer's packaging, described Yipples as being a, small and whatever kind of creature, and this game is retconning them, or rather this historical diorama is trying to convince you that they're actually really scary, but referring to the Sorcerer packaging I thought of using.
Faced with heavy fortifications, Dundor ordered his cavalry to advance up the far side of the river. Although the river was too dangerous to ford, Dundor built a bridge under darkness. The Yipples were taken completely by surprise, as the cavalry was no longer held back by the torrential waters.
Okay. Other than that thing about Sorcerer packaging, no joke there really, but it did suggest building the bridge. That seems to be part of... crap. One of the things that we could potentially try to have as a... Oh, hold on a second, folks. Okay, sorry, folks. I'll edit that out and keep rolling, I guess, and hopefully I don't lose this video, because it is going to go a little long, since I was pulled away for a minute. Okay, so this is the Battle of the Flood Control Dam.
The most famous battle of our time, the Battle of Flood Control Dam No. 3, ended the barbarian rebellion and uprising. General Kaine, then Second Lieutenant Colonel, using his enemy's prime weakness against them, decided he needed a distraction to allow him to carry out his final solution plan. He sent a party of troops
Hitler?
to High
Final
Mountain,
solution?
where they made considerable noise, bewildering the barbarians as to the intent of the exercise. While the barbarians were conveniently enthralled with the noise, Kaine prepared for their destruction by lining the inside of his forces with matchsticks he found in a lobby of the dam. That night, when the barbarians attacked, Kaine ordered his center to fall back against his flanks. The barbarian army poured through the gap in his lines. Kaine then lit his prepared matches, illuminating the center of his horseshoe position. Too late, the barbarians tried to retreat, only to be trapped against the dam and destroyed by the light.
The horrible death of the bondage barbarians. And that's the end of that one. Come on, let me see this one without scrolling. Yes. Battle of Fort Griff's... whatever.
In 665, in the Great Battle of Fort Griffspada, Duncanthrax vanquished the Antharian Armada. Although Duncanthrax had a powerful navy, his initial attacks against the Antharian Armada proved fruitless. The long barrel guns of Fort Griffspada held his ships at bay and prevented him from closing to grappling range. Wise Duncanthrax had anticipated this, however, sending spies to infiltrate the fort and destroy it.
With a big explosion, which was destroying our diorama every time it's used.
Without the fort for support, the Armada was trapped and destroyed. Duncanthrax had orchestrated the first victory of the longest war in history.
Okay. Some of these contain references and hints to the things that you'll actually need as part of the plan to... what you're trying to do, you're going to have to try to break the siege on Irondune, because you remember that older fella who wouldn't let us go out the front door because he said it was under siege? Well, it's not really under siege. This is like some ghostly thing of the past, the same as it was at the conservatory. But we have to break the siege that was going on in the past. We just saw that one. This one we haven't seen. The maneuver at Stonewall.
In 747, Stonewall Flathead was the first to use the massive thing as a brilliant military tactic. In the maneuver at Stonewall, for which the military Flathead derived his nickname, Flathead had learned that the opposing forces had taken the old fort as its principal headquarters. Flathead realized that a straight-on attack would cause many of his wealthier trained soldiers to perish. Dividing his army, he attacked directly with his small band of peasant conscripts, while his trained soldiers circled and attacked from the rear smaller wall.
Okay, this one's starting out kind of weird.
The tactic was a complete success and resulted in total surprise.
Didn't look like they were fighting anybody, though.
Unfortunately, the information about the old fort was wrong, and the opposing forces had not taken the wall or its fort. When the smaller army appeared at the battlement so quickly and without a fight, the conscripts mistook the elite brigade for the enemy. This was unfortunate for the peasants, as the elite brigade was both well-named and vengeful. The vast majority of the peasant army was soon slaughtered. Nonetheless, had the enemy in fact been there, the strategy would surely have been a successful one.
Okay, so that's kind of dark. There's this previous game, I guess it was Zork Zero or Beyond Zork, had like an extensive manual that listed a bunch of historical flatheads, one of whom was Stonewall Flathead. He was the military flathead, but the Flathead family are just like zany. The Diablo Massacre. That was when a necromancer who'd put all of his skill points into summoning wandered in to face Duriel and saw all of his skeletons get killed in the first 2 seconds, and then he just got killed because there's no place to run to that room.
In this scene, Duncan Thrax shows his daring, cunning, and ruthlessness. The natives had held the larger army at bay for some time, but Duncan Thrax had a plan. He began by making a feint with his vanguard, attacking the heavily entrenched enemy.
Okay. Are we ready to move on yet, or?
After a short skirmish, the brave general ordered a hasty retreat. The natives, imagining victory was within their grasp, began a pell-mell pursuit.
Feign retreat, draw them into an ambush. That's a pretty old trick. Zhuge Liang used it like 300 times per chapter.
Duncan Thrax led the natives through the pass and into the plains beyond. And there his waiting army closed on the chaotic horde and destroyed them.
Yeah, that's a pretty standard kind of tactic, luring the enemy into an ambush. Oh, we did see this one. That was the one about the bridge. And here's the one that we actually need.
That can't be Kaine. Who's there? Get away from the equipment, you hungus. That can't be Kaine.
Yeah.
Who's there?
It's some kind of
Get away from
transmitter.
the equipment, you hungus.
And we're transmitting it apparently to the guy who's guarding the door. Now, this is probably the most complicated puzzle in this whole thing. You'll remember that in the chest in Kaine's bedroom, Thaddeus Kaine's bedroom, was a plan on how to defeat the enemy. Basically, you had to... we sort of built a bridge and then distracted the enemy, split the troops, infiltrated them, and destroy the cannons. Now, you can figure out what number represents what order from listening to the torture, going to the torture chamber and listening to stuff, or they're all there on Lucius's canvas. Now, I would have had to mess with this a lot. Those are the only clues you get. I would have had to mess with this quite a bit before I would have figured it out. Otherwise, I don't remember having much trouble with this when I played this game years ago. But I think this would probably have been the biggest stumbling point in this whole chapter, whatever. But the walkthrough just basically tells you the answer. It tells you where to get the information. The only thing is that it's actually distraction before build bridge and not build bridge then distract. And because of the way that was all arranged, it was kind of a little confusing to me. It seemed like it wasn't going in that order. But it's actually, and this makes more sense though, cause a distraction, build the bridge, then split the troops, which from this point on, once you get distraction first, it follows the pattern that we saw on that chart, or his map that he drew. Distraction, build the bridge, split the troops, infiltrate and destroy. And then the last one is 12, verify message. So, and that's the other place you can get stuck. You're like, hey, there's only 4 steps. You have to put a verify message in at the end to get it to work. So, yeah, potentially confusing, but if you play with it for a while, you're going to get it. If you understand where you're drawing these numbers from. And the other thing is, although it's quite a few and it would be really boring, you could just put in every possible combination until one of them worked. So it's 101962 is what it actually comes out to when you've got the... Again, I'm using the walkthrough on the interwebs, but this is all stuff you'd write down, make your own notes, sort it out. Oh, it's 10196, not 212.
That did it. The enemy is retreating. Excellent plan. Irondune is secure. Repeat, Irondune is secure. Old soldier, over and out.
He doesn't even have a name. That's awesome. Sincerely, little girl. And I don't think there was any more of these to see anyway. So let's save our game and get pan relief back on. And I think what I'll do is I'll just make a long video and actually finish Kaine's thing. Didn't I just do that? I just did that. I'll make a slightly long video, even after I edit out that little conversation. It was a good conversation. It was a guy asking me if I wanted to go watch the Toy Master Part 4, When Good Toys Go Bad, which I do want to watch, so that was fine. Been watching bad horror movies. It's Halloween time almost. Okay. So that means that that front door is going to be open. Well, it's not open, but...
I don't know how you did it, but hallelujah.
Some weird little performances in this game. So we come up to a little, I don't know what there's an actual term for this, where you have these zigzagging rows of sandbags, or HESCOs, barriers. Basically, it's a really low-tech way of preventing a motorized vehicle from getting someplace it's not supposed to get. Because if you just have one, in a flat line, it can prevent people from just walking through, but a vehicle could knock it down. You have a zigzagging row of them. It's basically designed so they'll collapse on themselves and get stuck together, and it will prevent. Basically, in the modern day, they're used to prevent car bombings. But I don't know why you would use. Well, apparently, they do have motorized war machines, so never mind. I was about to say it didn't make sense here. We've got a girly calendar. You've always got those in military vehicles. And another frickin' password puzzle. You may, give yourself a minute here. Think about it. Pause the video if you need to. But you've probably already figured out what the source of the numbers for that puzzle is. Think about it. We'll be right back. It's actually, it's that pool game from the game room. Yeah, that's the only thing that's going to give you a set of 6 numbers to choose from, so that's what we have to actually use. But I won't even waste time with it right now because we're not ready for it yet. We need to put something in here to power the tank. And this is what we need to put in there. This item that we messed with before but didn't actually use. I will show you, first of all, what I kept doing. And then I will show you what you actually have to do. And this, I used the walkthrough online. I would have figured it out eventually. I think years ago, I remember a friend and I playing this. I think we died the same way I'm about to die a couple times, but fairly quickly figured out what was going wrong.
Thadium particles detected. Fatality predicted in 45 seconds.
So it's the power source for the tank,
Thadium
right?
particles disintegrating. Fatality predicted in 30 seconds. Warning. Thadium particles disintegrating. Fatality predicted in 20 seconds.
Nothing happens.
Warning. Thadium particles disintegrating. Fatality predicted in 10 seconds.
Can't quite figure out why it won't work. But it won't work. If we had the lantern, he would tell us, you need a container for it! You can't put it in like that! Instead, I accidentally spoke over one of the few Nemesis lines in the game. You've got that special glue. Yeah, it has to be in a container. It can't just be sitting out like that. And, again, Pixel Hunt. Oh, if you press these buttons, something happens? Well, what do you know?
Thadium particles detected. Fatality.
It has to go in this thing.
Warning, warning. TED detected. Evacuate to safe distance immediately. Repeat.
TED
evacuate
detected?
to safe distance immediately. Fatal radius 5 miles.
I wonder if there's a countdown on this, too. Probably wouldn't tell you anything different, though.
Thadium energy spike detected.
Oh, well, maybe there
energy release required immediately. Repeat.
Okay.
Energy
Well, let's just
release
wait this
required
out.
Immediately.
See if it's a different death. But yeah, the fact that you had a countdown convinced me that you needed to rush with that thadium and get it into the tank, but it turns out you actually need to put it in this container, and that was the problem. Like, if you couldn't get to the tank without putting it into a container, it would have led my mind in that right direction a little bit faster. But they weren't quite that kind.
Warning, warning. TED detected. Evacuate to safe distance immediately. Fatal exposure will result in
Okay, it is
30
counting down. I was
seconds.
about to say it doesn't seem like it's actually counting down.
Warning. All life forms other than rat ants will be terminated in 20 seconds.
For some reason, this sounds like Evil Rose to me. Or Noble Rose. Same voice actress.
10,
Shockingly.
9, 8,
Not this so much.
7, 6, 5, 4,
It's a sultry,
3,
sexy voice that's counting us down to death, isn't it?
1.
Do we get a message from Nemesis? No, you blew it this time. Oh, come on. There's not that many chances for Nemesis to score a cool line. They could have had him say something there. Anyway.
Thadium particles detected.
So you do have a limited time, but you've got a lot more time to work with this way. The future Conan?
Warning.
Oh, I went the wrong
warning.
way.
TED detected. Evacuate to safe distance immediately. Repeat.
TED
Evacuate
detected.
to safe distance immediately.
Ted DiBiase
Fatal
detected.
radius 5 miles.
Everybody has a price for him.
Thadium energy spike detected. Energy
Can we
release
put in the
required immediately.
album? No.
Repeat.
Thadium contained. Threat averted.
Game. Well, this section of game almost won. We're very close to the end, which is why I'm letting this video go long instead of trying to turn what little is left into its own video. Although one way I could have done that is by putting in all the wrong combinations first over here. Whoa, 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 my mouse. Ah, I was trying to put the album there. Okay, let's try candles and broomsticks. The correct one is fishing in the desert, because we're in a desert, so you'd have to think that would be the correct coordinates for something that's actually going to happen in the desert. But let's do candles and broomsticks. See if anything happens. I don't think it does. I don't think there's amusing little joke things that happen if you go to the wrong place. It does move you around, though. Yeah, just a completely generic desert location. Shaving a cat. 471395. 471395. You just kind of go around in circles. The last one that isn't correct is triple splitter. Might as well try it. 435971. And once again, we just kind of go around in a loop-de-loop and pass by the castle. You don't really go anywhere. So the correct answer is fishing in the desert, 741953. 7419. Nice that the 9 was correct. There's a little bit of clicking. And now we're coming to where I kind of got stuck before. Couldn't figure out, I mean, if you read the walkthrough, it tells you exactly what to do, but I couldn't figure out how you're supposed to know. To a certain extent. We are now in his alchemy lab. There is a book that I can't figure out what to do with, and I don't see how this is really a clue. I don't think you can zoom in on different sections and do different things. Come over to this machine. Thadium Enterprises Mullo Primers, or ZM, which is like trademark. So we have to make the symbol for the metal, and we're making, he's like Mr. Manly Man. And the only two symbols you can really make from these are either the male symbol or the female symbol, so it ain't that hard. And we get a tablet. Then we come over here. I'll save the game again. And we ride down in the elevator, and we come to some...
Unprotected personnel prohibited. Please leave immediately.
I'm pretty sure there's no way to get protection. You just have to come down here and do what you need to do. There's an arm button. There's a fan button. You can put this thing in there. But you need to cook it in the furnace, and that's where I don't understand exactly what you're meant to do. You can't cook it too hot. You can't cook it too cold. Maybe that's correct. Made a little dinging noise.
Iron at optimal processing consistency.
Oh, that's...
Systems check affirmative.
That's not what the walkthrough said, but I guess you just keep messing with it until it tells you that it's optimal temperature. So... Okay, never mind. Not as tough a puzzle as I thought. I did something wrong on the very first try. And, never mind. The manual just gave you one of probably many different correct possible ways to do it, so fine. Never mind. I was wondering where the clues were on how to do that. No, it's actually the simplest puzzle in the whole thing. You just keep messing with it till the thing reads in the middle somewhere, the temperature gauge, because We did read a clue saying it can't be too hot, can't be too cold. Piece of porridge in a hot pot, 9 days old, but not a hot pot. Never mind. So, okay, we're back in magical Kingdom Land. You notice the ink is not complete because we actually loaded and saved that for last. But we do have blood. And we get to see the murder of Thaddeus Kaine. Pretty stirring stuff. Yeah, that was a little bit faster than even I thought it would be. Oh, well, I forgot we get to chat with him now. This guy's an asshole, though. I'm not really sure I want to save him.
Everything I had. An army. Vast lands. Unimaginable wealth. And my son, Lucien.
Lucien. Not
I
Lucien.
see it so clearly now.
The best thing I had was my army.
Wrong. I thought Alexandria was just an impulse for him.
Oh, okay.
A pet sport. You see, I had plans for him. I didn't understand this. Love. He spoke up. I have fought many battles in my life. I have suffered defeat, and I have survived.
I have survived as long as I know how to love.
The murder of my son, and my own guilt. This I can barely survive. Give me a chance to make amends. Let me bring back my son from the grave. Finish gathering the metals and help us create the Philosopher's Stone. Please.
You know, I was right in the middle of talking about what an asshole he was, and well, it seems like he realized his mistake. I mean, not a nice guy, but he was able to see, maybe too late. He learned too late that man is a feeling creature, and because of it, the greatest in the universe. No, he seemed to sort of realize at the end that, you know what, I've been kind of a douchebag. Alright, now that I got 20/20 hindsight and all that, kept calling my son a little wimpy girly man and giving him shit, and I wouldn't let him see his girlfriend, and maybe 20/20 hindsight, in retrospect, maybe that wasn't that cool. Anyway, folks, yeah, this video didn't go all that long. Once I edit out that little conversation I had, it'll probably be between 30 and 40 minutes. And we managed to knock out Temple Irondune, or Castle Irondune, in 2 videos. So if we can keep it to 2 to 3 videos each for these last 2 sections, which are going to be the Monastery of the Fire Worshipper Dudes and the what is the word I'm looking for? I'm blanking on what you call the Asylum of Dr. So-and-so, whom Kaine and Hamilton both seem to think was a bit nutty, but they listened to him anyway. If I can get through those 2 areas in a relatively same amount of time, then yeah, we're only 5 or 6 videos probably away from the end of this whole LP, which is, you know, bittersweet because I'm enjoying this LP. I hope you are too. We will be continuing it in the next video. I think next up we're going to do the Fire Monastery. And find out a little bit more information about Alexandria Fox's father, Vicente Fox, Prime Minister of Mexico. No, the actual name of the dude, I don't know why I'm looking it up now, because I'll have to look at it in the next video anyway. But the guy that we're going to learn about next, the head of the Monastery of Ultimate Dudes, is... Bishop Francois Malveaux. I thought he was the dad of... What's her name? Maybe she has like a... Perhaps she has like a nom de plume that she uses. And because I thought her name was like some kind of animal last name. Anyway, we're going to find out about Alexandria's pops. And... we'll find out about him in the next video. This has been the Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys for watching. Tune in next time where we learn the alchemical secrets of fire. Bye-bye.